The COVID-19 pandemic production shutdown was short-lived, and studios reached an agreement with IATSE, avoiding a strike, so the steady stream of television series just keeps coming. When it comes to at-home entertainment, 2022 has a lot to live up to. Here are the top 10 most anticipated TV shows of 2022, so let's take a look. Before we get further, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Alright, let's get into it. At number 10, The First Lady. Period pieces have been popular for years, but looking at history through a new lens is particularly popular with today's audience. The First Lady does just that by letting the women of the White House take the spotlight. It's a scripted series told through a significant passage of time, which is also bound to create a murderer's row of performances for characters such as former First Ladies Michelle Obama, Betty Ford, and Eleanor Roosevelt, as well as Social Secretary Nancy Howe. At number 9, Gaslit. The drama promised to unfold on-screen in this modern retelling of the Watergate scandal is one thing, but the drama behind the scenes has people paying close attention to the title as well. It was announced with an A-list cast that included Julia Roberts, Sean Penn, and Armie Hammer, but Hammer's role was recast. Then in July, Penn came out in support of the COVID-19 vaccine, stating that he would only return to the set if the entire cast and crew were vaccinated. The show will focus on Martha as the protagonist, but it will also look at other forgotten characters from the events. At number 8, Halo. It's been a long road for Halo, a video game adaptation that was originally scheduled for Showtime, but was moved to Paramount Plus before losing one of its showrunners ahead of production. But life, war, and television must go on, and the live-action adaptation of the 343 Industries and Xbox franchise is currently scheduled to debut in 2022. The 10-episode first season, starring Pablo Schreiber as protagonist Master Chief, will focus on the 26th century war between the United Nations Space Command and the Alien Covenant. At number 7, How I Met Your Father. Given how long How I Met Your Mother ran, it's almost surprising that a follow-up series centered on a female perspective took so long. To be sure, Isaac Aptaker and Elizabeth Berger's streaming version isn't the first attempt. The story begins in 2021 when Sophie and her friends are figuring out who they are and what they want out of life, all while navigating the seemingly limitless dating options provided by apps. At number 6, Law & Order. Even when Mariska Hargitay is still going strong on Law & Order SVU and Chris Meloni is making a franchise comeback on Law & Order Organized Crime, there's still a hunger for more. The original was cancelled by NBC after a 20-season run in 2010, but the revival will allow for some unfinished business to be resolved, as Anthony Anderson will reprise his detective role, at least for the first new season. Hugh Dancy, who will be representing the other side of the title as an assistant district attorney, will be with him. At number 5, The Lord of the Rings. This epic and costly streaming prequel to J.R.R. Tolkien's titular novel franchise will be released on September 2nd. Set thousands of years before the events of both the books of The Hobbit, the drama series follows an ensemble cast of characters who must confront the long-feared reemergence of evil in Middle-earth. At number 4, Bel-Air. The 90s sitcom The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is being rebooted with a more dramatic style, with Jabari Banks taking on the lead role of Will. The hour-long series, which will air on NBC Universal's streaming service for 2 seasons, is set in the present day but is based on the original series premise. Will moves from West Philadelphia to the titular Bel-Air. Will Smith, who starred in the original, is an executive producer on the reboot, which is created by TJ Brady and Rashid Newson. At number 3, The Dropout. When it first made headlines, the saga of Elizabeth Holmes and how she defrauded the medical community with her plan to revolutionize blood testing without actually having the capability to do so captivated audiences. She was the subject of a documentary as well as a scripted adaptation after ABC produced a podcast titled The Dropout. The latter is Hulu's version of her story. Kate McKinnon was originally set to play Holmes, but she had to back out, so Amanda Seyfried stepped in. This undoubtedly caused delays in the project release, which is now scheduled for 2022. At number 2, Fleischman in Trouble. Jesse Eisenberg and Lizzie Kaplan star in the limited series adaptation of Taffy Brodesser novel Actors of the same name on the cable network. Eisenberg plays the titular Fleischman, a recently divorced single father who is experimenting with dating apps and finding surprising success, especially when compared to his more youthful, real-life experiences. Kaplan is Libby, a longtime friend of Fleischman who is now a stay-at-home mother. They lost contact during Fleischman's marriage, but reconnected just before the events of the book began. And at number 1, House of the Dragon. Rather than capitalizing on Game of Thrones' success with a sequel that spins off one of the characters who survived, HBO is continuing the franchise with a prequel series. Based on George R.R. Martin's Fire and Blood, the show takes place a few hundred years before the events of Game of Thrones. After the Targaryen Civil War, also known as The Dance of the Dragons. The first season will consist of 10 episodes, and HBO executives have been seeing footage for months now. So while the show may not be right around the corner, it's getting closer. Well guys, that's it for this one. What'd you think about it? Let us know in the comments below. If you're new to our channel, be sure to sub and ring that bell so you never miss any of our videos. Thanks for watching, we'll see you next time.